Hey everyone, today I've got your It movie review. This remake of the horror miniseries and Stephen King's book brings the Losers Club back to face it, but will it have you floating to theaters to see it again? So as far as the story goes, Andy Muschietti directs this horror film since Mama and puts a new spin on the Pennywise character while reminding audiences why we're scared of clowns in the first place. And trust me, I am definitely afraid of some clowns out there. And this movie introduces you once again to the members of the so-called Losers Club, where they are plagued by the presence of Pennywise the clown. It definitely gives off this very creepy vibe right off the bat, and we see more depth added to the backgrounds of these characters than we have ever seen before. And so I thought that that was really cool that you get to really feel for these characters more and see more of their motivations for doing things. It really does help when there is just a lot going on, and even some things that I didn't even expect to happen, because I felt like there were some definite changes to this movie, which I found to be a good thing compared to the mini-series. And now I actually didn't get a chance to read the book, and I really want to read it so I can see the differences between these two mediums. I really enjoyed watching this movie. I felt like there were a lot of boundaries that were pushed because at times it looked just so gruesome that it had me wondering if I was really watching it, because I felt like the miniseries became so dated and comical over the years that this movie, it's like a breath of fresh air. It is terrifying. It is a perfect example of a horror film to come out this year. As far as the casting goes, you've got Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, and you know, not too many people are familiar with him as an actor, though I am familiar with his family of actors, including Alexander Skarsgård, his brother, and his dad, Stellan Skarsgård. So I think he really brought a new, refreshing interpretation of this character, originally played by Tim Curry, who I thought did an excellent job. And now this one is more terrifying. I just realized that he was in a Netflix series, Hemlock Grove, which I did enjoy watching. And now in this movie, I wanted to see much more of him. So I was slightly disappointed I didn't get to see as much of him in this movie. But from what I did see, he was brilliant. He was terrifying. He really had me wanting to run for the door or hide under covers because of just how scary yet comical he was. And I just thought he was perfection. All of the child actors in this movie, who are mostly unknowns to play the members of the Losers Club, though I did recognize one of the kids who ends up playing Richie, and that's Finn Wolfhard, who if you've seen Stranger Things also on Netflix, you would recognize him, and I thought he was really funny here. And obviously he's the more comical of the bunch, yet there were some little jabs here and there of comedy from the other actors, which I did love. They all just felt like one big happy family, and I thought, you know, them as an ensemble cast worked all very well. I would be curious to know in part 2 who are all the adult actors going to play. The things that I did like about this movie was the cinematography. I felt to be really well done. It was beautifully shot in a lot of the scenes. I really loved just how scared I felt watching this movie because there were so many jump scares that I just couldn't get enough of. Things that really had that shock value, had me covering my eyes or covering my mouth. I was just scared. I almost didn't want to scream. And good thing I did not, because I also loved the musical score. I thought it was just really beautiful yet intense. And I would say that the last half of the movie just really had me going. It really showcased what Pennywise was capable of, and just really made this movie so great and different. And even though there were some things that I wasn't expecting from some of the kids in this movie that I've ever heard before, I would say it didn't ruin my expectations about the rest of this film. So overall, I would say that it was a pretty good film, and I could say this is obviously 10 times better than the mini-series, and I just can't wait for part 2 to come out, and I would definitely see this movie over and over again. So I would highly recommend seeing this movie if you guys haven't, and I would give this 5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of it. How does this compare to the miniseries or the book? And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates coming every week for a Trail Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later. And you'll float too! You'll float too! You'll float too! You'll float too! You'll float too!